Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is official. Today, I have sold my 500th used RV that was built during COVID-19. That includes travel trailers, toy haulers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, truck campers, van conversions, etc. These were all units over the last 2 years that I have sold used that was built between March of 2020 and December of 2022. And this is what I've learned from that. I've learned that the majority of the internet is full of crap when they talk negatively about COVID units. But then again, there is some truth in the over-exaggerations. What's missing from everybody's videos is context. Why? Because context doesn't get clicks, views, and ad revenue. That's what it's all about. If you actually look at it, if you watch sci-fi movies from the 80s, you watch some sci-fi movies from, the 2010s like Ready Player One, it's all about money. Everybody wants attention and money. So they come up with over-exaggerations about almost everything in the world, and they get attention, and attention pays them. Sounds like a Lil Wayne song. I went to pay attention, but attention paid me. Anyway, moving forward. So, in this video, we're gonna cover what is the actual truth, and what's an over-exaggeration, and what is a straight-out lie. So let's start with the 3 straight-out lies. The first straight-out lie is that the manufacturers went out and hired a bunch of new people that have never built an RV before to come build the units during COVID-19. That's actually a lie, but there's some hidden truth in there we'll get to in a little bit, okay? So bear with me. The second lie is that COVID units will just fall apart on you because they weren't put together properly. That is actually a flat out lie. It's the same percentage as stuff built in the 80s, stuff built in the 90s, stuff built pre-COVID, post-COVID. It's the same percentage. It was just more of them because you had 1.4 million RVs built in a 2.5-year period compared to, just over 1.5 million that was built over a decade in the early 2000s. So you built almost a decade worth of manufacturing in a 2.5-year period. Now, I'm over-exaggerating a little bit with that. It's probably more like a 6-year supply or a 5.5-year supply. But the reality is that the percentage never changed. And the third lie is that the manufacturers never supported the customer during that time period. That's actually a flat-out lie, okay? Now, what is the truth behind those lies? The truth behind those lies is that the dealerships were hiring people that had never worked on an RV before. So I'm gonna put to you like this. Back in 2020, we're gonna say April, May 2020, I had 7 technicians that had a combined over 200 years of experience repairing RVs. Great guys, but they were older. So when the government, the federal government, offered them to stay at home for $4,000 a month, which was pretty much, for a lot of them, was half their pay, they're like, yeah, I'll stay home. You mean I don't have to pay my mortgage? I don't have to pay my rent? I don't have to pay my car note? I could just sit at home at $4,000 a month and stay safe and not get sick and not have issues? I'm in. So what we do? Found a bunch of 19, 20, 21-year-old kids that wanted a job. You had managers and owners of dealerships that hadn't turned a wrench in years, now PDIing units. Which gets into the third lie, which is the manufacturer never supported the customer. No, the supply chain never supported the customer. So what everybody wants to forget is the supply chain for everything sucked. You had a global lockdown That took years to restart the supply engine chain, or the supply chain engine, I should say. So I'll give you a great example. This is the best example I can give you. And again, I'm going to pick on Palomino for a second because they're just sitting here, okay? A Palomino truck camper comes into a dealership lot. It's supposed to have 2 solar panels, an air conditioner, a hot water heater, etc. It shows up to the dealership lot because it's an order and it's missing the AC and it's missing 1 solar panel. So what happens? Well, you can't get an air conditioner, you can't get a solar panel for 7 months because of all the supply chain issues. Oh, by the way, on top of that, the supplier wants to charge you triple because of inflation and because they can't get any. So they're trying to make their profit margin, and we use the word gouging, but if you were in business back then, you'd have a better understanding of what that really meant, but we won't get into that. So what do? Well, hey, look, I got an Arctic Fox that's been in stock for like 200 days. Nobody has bought it. I'll rob the solar panel off of that and the air conditioner, and I'm gonna put on the Palomino that's sold. Let's have Mr. 19-year-old kid that has never worked on an RV in his life go do that install. So he goes on YouTube, he goes on Reddit, Quora, websites, and installs it by instructions by DIY influencers. Now, this is not any shade against DIY guys, but let's be real. The first time you do something, generally, it's not as good as the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. The more practice you have, even if you have the knowledge, the more practice you have, the better you are at something. So Mr. Customer goes out on their first trip and the air conditioner won't work. We'll come to find out the circuit board on the air conditioner we installed fried. Oh, by the way, I can't get that circuit board for 7 freaking months. So what happens? I go search around the lot to find an air conditioner because I can't get one for 6 months from the supplier, and the factory can't get one from the supplier. So what happens? Voila! We rob another one. Oh wait, but it doesn't go with the actual thermostat, so we have to rob the thermostat. And it just keeps getting worse, where when people would come down and shop by the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, they saw units stripped of parts just to cover warranty, just to cover sales. Now, the truth behind the factory workers is the factory workers were not brand new to the industry. They were hopping around because they were offered stupid amounts of money. So I'll give you an example. And Coachman Catalina and Doug Getter and Mike can all get pissed off at me for this. Get pissed. I don't care. I'm gonna throw your dirty laundry out there, okay? Coachman Catalina could not keep employees at the plant because all the employees were being offered ridiculous amounts of money to go to the next one. So what was happening was guys who had been building them for 15 years saw an opportunity to make more money because they're like, well, I could just stay home for $4,000 a month. So places like Grand Design and places like Brinkley, even though Brinkley really wasn't up and running quite yet, not at full scale, and places like Tiffin and places like Alliance were like, hey, look, we'll give you a guaranteed double amount of money Coachman is. Then Rockwood and Flagstaff were like, hey guys, hey, come over here from Keystone. We'll give you a lot more money than Keystone's giving you. And it was just a circulation of very experienced people that were like jumping ship to the next place because they were paying more money. So they saw an opportunity to make more money. And by the way, if you're an employee and you're getting offered double the money to hop to another place, you can't tell me that you weren't going to look at that opportunity, okay? So don't give me that crap. Oh, yeah, they just screwed us over. No, that's not the truth. Because if you got the opportunity to make more money guaranteed, you would do it in a heartbeat or at least look at it. Okay. Now, the harsh truth that no one wants to hear is that COVID units are fine as long as you have them inspected, whether you do it yourself, whether you have a mobile technician do it, not a third-party inspector BS. I'm talking about a real mobile RV tech, somebody with 10 plus years experience that actually goes out and works on them every day. You have them inspect it. If you're that worried, you'll be fine. I've sold over 500 now used RVs that were built during COVID-19. Not one of them have come back with a major problem. Why? Well, because all the bugs have been worked out just like they have every other RV. And that's why a lot of people are buying used. Let's face it, a lot of people in this market are buying used because they feel the bugs have been worked out. A lot of reasons why guys prefer used trucks, because all the electronics, everything that went wrong during the warranty period maybe won't go wrong now that I've owned it, and the depreciation, and it costs less money. So those are the realities that we need to look at, right? I'm not trying to throw shade at people for the way they want to make money. You want to make money by telling over exaggerations on the internet about COVID units, or about trucks, or about real estate, or about money, or about Trump, or about Biden, or about this politician or that politician. You do you. But the reality is very different than what fictionalized information we get on social media. Now, one thing I am getting a lot of questions about is half-ton towable fifth wheels. I've been getting that for a while now, okay? And if you want some information about half-ton towable fifth wheels, you want to click on this video right here. Until next time, remember, RV always stands for toolkit and sense of humor.